Nikon released today a Z6 and a Z7 full-frame camera that are mirrorless. They're jumping into the mirrorless market just like Sony has. And it was quite the debut. It was a 1-hour show. I literally sat there watching. They came out with a lot of graphics, a lot of spectacle. I mean, I literally thought Jesus Christ himself was going to appear. They did such a good job on the presentation. They had two people that basically they give their cameras to and they go out and take photos. They stood up and said how great the camera is. They never said one thing bad about the camera whatsoever. Nothing, not one thing. And as they gave their speech, the crowd did not ask questions. They did not clap. They did nothing. It was just like giving a presentation to a bunch of zombies. It was extremely strange. And here's a quick layout of the specs of the two cameras they're releasing. As you can see, the Z7 is basically almost double the price, but it has the most power when it comes to megapixels and autofocus points and the ISO and frames per second. And they actually quoted the price during this meeting in the Japanese yen. I've gone and converted it off of Google, so this is a rough estimate. They said open dollar. Some prices were with tax, some were without when they actually announced certain lenses. But you can pause it here if you want and compare the two if you want to look at them. Obviously, the Z7 is a whole lot better camera. Obviously, you're going to need about $4,000 to even pick up that camera. Now, understand these cameras will work with the old lenses because they brought out brand new lenses. It's a brand new mount. It's an S mount, they call it. So you're going to need a converter in between. And that converter, I think, when I converted it was something like $350. I'll put it up here in a sec. But this is the rundown between the two cameras that are being released with Nikon, with the Z7 and Z6 mirrorless. I'm pretty impressed the way these cameras are going. I can't wait to see what Canon's going to release because I like Canon. My wife actually likes Nikon. But I'm kind of really looking forward to see what Canon then actually produces with their next cameras that'll be coming out mirrorless, because mirrorless seems to be the way that everybody's going, and it looks like Sony pretty much paved the way to push everybody into this with the competition. Now, one thing that's really cool in this camera, it's almost like there's a gimbal built inside the camera. Let me play this short video for you so you can see what I'm talking about.
The Z series bodies are the first interchangeable lens Nikon cameras to come with an in-camera vibration reduction or VR mechanism. The newly developed VR unit offers compensation in 5 directions, and the effect is equivalent to a shutter speed up to approximately 5.0 stops faster. This in-camera VR support is also effective when paired with non-VR Nikkor F lenses via a mount adapter.
So as you can see, with this 5-axis image sensor sitting here, and the way it moves around, it literally is basically going to give you much smoother video when you're moving. These cameras are getting to the point where you're not even going to have to buy a gimbal in time from the way the direction they're going. Now, check out the viewfinder on this thing. Look at that thing he's looking through with his eye. It's amazing. Look how huge that is. That is a jump. That is a big leap in what's going on with the cameras. So not only do we have a gimbal built into the camera, but now we've got this, 3690K dot quad VGA electronic viewfinder. Wow, that's a mouthful. It's going to be interesting to see what that actually looks like when you actually look through it.
The Z series places a strong emphasis on improved movie recording features. They both offer full-frame 4K UHD 30p and Full HD 120p recording.
Now, as you can see, these new S lenses, because there's a new mount on the Nikon that allows more light to come in, they're releasing only 3 lenses in 2018. A 35mm, a 50mm, and a 24x70. So you're basically looking at $3,000 there for those 3 lenses. And if you buy the expensive camera, $5,000 there, so you're into $8,000. And then you're going to need the converter to go on it to switch over to your old lenses, so another $350 there. I mean, you're into an $8,000, $9,000 system for just 3 lenses. And you run your old lenses. Now in 2019, they plan to release those other ones, as you can see there, that I have in the list. And in 2020, those other ones there. So you're going to need that converter no matter what. And personally, I think they should have thrown the converter in with the camera, being that they're changing the entire system. But hey, that's just me. I'd like to know, are you guys going to buy a mirrorless camera? Are you in the market for this type of expensive camera? Or are you just going to stick with what you have right now? But it looks like the direction we're going is mirrorless. It looks like we're going for lighter lenses so that we can carry more or carry less weight on our backs when we actually go out and do our photography. And like I said, it's really interesting on the direction that all this is going.
We're also developing a battery pack that will allow long hours of shooting.
So notice that they didn't even have a battery pack made for these cameras yet. They're still researching that, is what they said. So I guess that's going to come out, but they didn't give an actual date. Now, one thing I see a problem with both these cameras, take a look at this quick video. So did you catch that? All it's got is a little tiny screen that flips up. It's not even a rotating screen like I love on my Canon 80D. I love the idea of the video shooting at 120 frames a second, and when you get to 4K, you know, you get into 30 frames a second. I think that's great. But this screen only flipping up is kind of a deal breaker. I mean, are you going to spend $4,000 and another $3,000 on lenses when the screen doesn't flip all the way around? It's like they always leave out something. And I need that. I am constantly using that screen. When the sun's too bright, I turn it a certain way to take the glare off. When I bend over, I turn it up. I don't have to get down in the mud. I gotta have that screen. I just have to have it. That is interesting. One other thing I noticed that Nikon kept saying was they kept overemphasizing how they've been in business for 100 years. As if they were trying to tell you, look, we've been in a business longer than Sony, and we know what we're doing, and Sony doesn't. I don't even think they would have went into these cameras, into these mirrorless, if it wasn't for Sony. I think Sony's pushing everybody. So that goes to show you, competition is a good thing when it comes to companies. It provides and gives customers more of what they want. So Nikon's bringing out the mirrorless. I'm waiting on Canon. What about you? What do you think of all this new mirrorless generation camera equipment where you're really going to have to spend some big bucks to upgrade your system? At any rate, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.